So California is about to pass a new bill for a wealth tax. So anybody who has a net worth over $1 billion will get taxed 1.5% of that every year. Now I don't like this, and I'll explain to you why. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, it's $1 billion. These people have tons of money. Well, here's the thing. You're already getting taxed on your income. You're getting taxed property tax. When you spend your money, you're getting sales tax. And then when you pass away, government takes half in death tax. Now they're trying to say, hey, you know what? 1.5% just to exist. That's the thing. The principle here is that if you have $1 billion in net worth, are you taking up more resources than other people? No. Are you using up? So what's the reason? Why? If anything, you're already paying more taxes than anybody else. And now they want to take another 1.5%. And listen, today it's $1 billion, but in 20, 30 years, however long, $1 billion will not be $1 billion with the buying power. It'll be less. Then it'll be 100 million. Then it'll be 10 million. So eventually $1 billion will be what $1 million is worth today. And do you think once that bill is in place, it'll ever get pulled? No. Once it's there, it's there. And I'm telling you, slowly it's going to end up applying to everybody. You'll notice that the past few years, there's been a lot of talk of a wealth tax. They've been testing the waters. They've been flirting with the idea so that you kind of get used to it. Now, California, leave it to California to be the one to push it. And then next thing you know, other states will follow suit. Anybody that thinks that they can get some extra money pushed in, they're going to do it any way they can. And let me tell you, I hate property tax already. I really dislike property tax. The idea that I have to buy a place and then that I have to pay a percentage to the government to own it every year in perpetuity. For what? For what? You're already paying for utilities. You're already paying to live there, like it costs money. You might even have an HOA. And now you got to have a property tax. And like I said, in Texas, it's so high. It's just ridiculous. It's like, and they will take your place. You can fall behind 2 years on property tax in some places like in PA, and they will take your home for you and throw you on the streets because you didn't pay your property taxes for a couple of years. You tell me that's fair after you shelled out all the money to pay it. No, I don't like it. And like I said, you're paying property taxes with dollars that are already been taxed. And then every dime you spend is taxed with sales tax. And if you manage somehow to build a company that's worth $1 billion or to gain $1 billion worth of assets, your reward, as you're already paying the majority of taxes in this country, is we're going to hit you with 1.5%. And let me tell you something. This is just the beginning. If you don't think it's going to get worse, you're in for a treat. I'm telling you, I think we should push back on this big time. But, who knows if we will. A lot of people, they just don't get fired up enough about this stuff. They think, well, that's billionaires. Why don't be a bootlicker or whoever, for the billionaire class. It sets a dangerous precedent. And if you don't see that, then you're naive. I'm sorry. But if you really don't see how this is poop that's going to roll downhill and it's going to affect everybody, then I don't know what to tell you. They've tried this in other countries. It's failed miserably because of the principle of taking people's money, more of people's money for no reason. In California, I just read an article with California bragging about how well they're doing, how much money they have. Just a complete fugazi, of course. They're trying to freaking brainwash it. It's a failing state. But like, oh, look how big we are. We have the largest economy of this and this. Well, then why you need a wealth tax? Why are you constantly raising taxes if you're doing so well? That's what I want to know. You're just going to drive people away. And I just hope that other states don't follow suit. And then you got Joe Biden over here tweeting again. He says, we just created more jobs in 2 years than any other president has in any 4-year term. I'm like, he can't be serious. He can't. Does he really think we're that stupid? This is barely a recovery of jobs that we lost during the pandemic. And he wants to take credit for that. But he doesn't want to talk about inflation, of course. Build Back Better, right? It was day 739 of Build Back Better. And egg purchases are restricted to half a dozen per person. How you doing over there?